Hello, everybody. It's Bills.com's football guy here with, another preview prediction video. The final FBS one. We got a doubleheader coming tomorrow. Actually, it might not be a doubleheader. You might not be doing 3 on Wednesday, depends on how this goes. But anyway, final FBS school. We're talking about Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers of the Sun Belt Conference. Oh, my goodness. Well, let me see how they went today. We're going to go over their coaching staff. We're going to go over their preview their roster and then make predictions game by game of their schedule. So shall we get into this? All right. Coastal Carolina went 6-7 last year. Last year they lost to UTSA in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Tim Beck, their head coach, back for his third season as head coach. Previous 2 seasons, his coaching record is 14-11. He'll work on that a little bit. We have 2 new coordinators on the staff here. Drew Hollingshead begins his first season as OC. He was previously the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Western Kentucky. The previous OC was actually head coach Tim Beck, so he stepped back from play calling duties and gave it to the coach. At least that's what I've found so far. I'm not really super in on Coastal, so I'm not on there, but as far as I've known, he's the one calling the plays. Coastal, this one is not really that much of a change here. Tim Beck calling the plays. Coastal Carolina ranked 81st in total offense in FBS last season. And Western Kentucky, with Coach Hollingshead running the show, were 82nd in total offense in FBS last season. So it's basically about the same thing. Defensive coordinator, though, is another coach, Jeremiah Johnson. Begins his first season as DC of Coastal Carolina. He was previously the defensive coordinator at Western Kentucky. Previous season were 2 co-DCs. Craig Niavar is now the special teams coordinator at Arizona. And the other co-DC was Don Carell, who doesn't currently have a job. Both of them are suing Coastal Carolina for, quote, they are seeking to recover monetary damages for breach of contract. Somebody else can look into that, but that's how that's going right now. Coastal Carolina with Navarre and Guerrero, who was primarily calling the plays, was 106th in total defense last season. Western Kentucky, with Coach Johnson running it, was 97th. So we're kind of almost in the same place we were at. We'll see how this makes a difference. Now, offense, getting to the rosters here. Quarterback room, who's going to be the starter? Because realistically, even though this is late, you still don't know who the starter is of Coastal. MJ Morris, the redshirt junior, transfer from Maryland. He might be the front runner, might not be. There's 3 guys realistically who've got the shot at the job. Technically, you could put 4 guys into it. But MJ Morris, redshirt junior, transfer, 36-61, 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks. You also have Emmett Brown, the redshirt junior, transfer from San Jose State. 125 out of 217, 1,627 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 picks. And you've got Samari Collier, the redshirt senior transfer from Hutchinson Community College, 97 of 186, 1,372 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You also have got Todd Hudson, redshirt sophomore, 17 to 26, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks also. This is totally up in the air. No idea who's going to be the quarterback. I mean, they only got 5 quarterbacks on the roster. 4 of them got a shot at this. I think probably the top 3, maybe even between Brown and Collier. Well, but I don't know how they're going to run this, so we're going to see. Standing with the starting running back, we don't know who that is. And transfers will definitely decide it because you've got 7 guys in the running back room. All 4 of them qualified, and 4 major stats too. One, I should say, according to some stats, Javin Simpkins, the junior, he met the minimal for this. The minimal being for running backs, 100 yards rushing FBS, 200 or more yards rushing FCS or lower. He didn't meet the minimum. The guys who did meet the minimum, we have 1 from FBS and 2 from community colleges. We'll get the community college guys out of the way who actually have the bigger numbers because, well, realistically, Jalen John, we'll do the FBS one first. Jalen John, the grad transfer from UMass, 111 carries, 583 yards, 5 touchdowns. You've got Breon Townsend, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Independence Community College. I think that was last chance U, wasn't it? 111 carries, 348 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then you've got some people who say it's by the best the Marion Petit the junior transfer from Northwest Mississippi Community College. Get used to that name. There's a lot of players on this team from that school. I'm not even lying. 231 carries, 1,210 yards, 14 touchdowns. Going to be interesting to see who's the starting running back out of this group is going to be. Wide receivers, top 2 pass catchers from last year. Wide receivers return. There's a ton of transfers in this group, and they're definitely going to determine who's going to be the starter. It's the best room on the offense, in my opinion. 9 guys recorded something. 6 made the minimum qualification, which is 10 receptions, FBS, 20 FCS or lower. It's FCS, Division 2, Division 3, community college, junior college. You get the idea. Anything but high school. So in that aspect, let's do the ones who are not at the FBS level. First off, let's get the ones who are not, who recorded some stats and didn't. That was actually 2 guys, and that was Zachary Widener, the sophomore, and Malik Maga. He's actually a super senior, 6 years. They didn't make minimum qualification. Now, those who did qualify, we have 1, 2, 3 who are FCS. Worst to first on them. I should take that back. We have one more guy. I missed him. Actually, there was 3 guys who recorded stats. I made a mistake. 9 was 8. Carmelo English, the junior transfer from West Georgia. He didn't do anything last year either. Minimal qualification. So it actually is 8. So of the ones who did FCS, we have 2. Worst of, and both of them did a lot of catches at the FCS level. Is that going to translate? We're talking Colton Hinton, the junior transfer from Furman, 59 receptions, 649 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And Eli Aragon, the junior transfer from Western Illinois, 64 receptions, 792 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So it's interesting. Now, the ones who are FBS level, the 3 guys are FBS. Actually, 4 FBS. 3 of them are holdovers from last year's squad, including the top 2 pass catchers. We're going to do receptions worst to first. So worst to first, Cameron Wright, the redshirt senior, holdover from last year's squad, 19 receptions, 314 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's basically tied for third because Malcolm Gilly, the grad transfer from Ball State, also had 19 receptions for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns. Top 2 from last year, second place from last season, second most receptions from last year's squad. Bryson Graves, the junior, 27 receptions, 327 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And top of the list was Jamison Tucker, the redshirt senior, 34 receptions, 579 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes here. Tight ends, wide receivers were the best room on the offense. Tight ends are the worst. 6 tight ends on the roster. 4 of them did something. Only 1 qualified. Same 10-20 reception rule. The ones who didn't qualify, we have 2 holders from last year's squad, Brooks Johnson, the redshirt junior, and Zach Courtney, the redshirt junior, as well as Josh Himes, the junior transfer from Northwest Mississippi Community College. Again, get used to that name. There's a lot of guys from that school here. I need a defensive back. The one who's on there, probably the odds-on to be maybe tight end number 1. I'm not sure. Kane Barong. I'm him his name wrong. I apologize. The redshirt senior, 12 receptions, 145 yards, and a touchdown. So it's interesting to see how the tight end room goes. Offensive line is a ton of transfers in that room. How well is all that going to go together? In fact, I remember correctly, I wrote down a freshman. Yeah, Dominic Rios. He probably is going to get involved in this and get into the depth chart. Maybe not starting, but definitely in the rotational if need be. So don't be surprised you see him. So it's going to be interesting there. Now it's the offense. Now let's get to the defense. Defensive line room. Transfer City. So I can sum it up. 10 guys qualified out of the 16. 4 made full qualification. 10 did something. 4 made full qualification. Now the ones who didn't make enough defense, whether it's defensive line, whether it's linebackers, whether it's defensive backs. 10 tackles, 20 or more, FCS or lower. So for the recording tackles, we got Jaden Bryant, the sophomore. These guys who did not make the minimums. Jaden Bryant, the sophomore. They did do something, though. Ibrahim Diawara, the redshirt junior. Tyler Moore, the sophomore. Jaron Johnson, the redshirt junior transfer from Houston Baptist. Excuse me, not Houston Baptist. I got the other guy. I'm thinking of the other guy here. Wrote it kind of fast. From Hampton, did some stats, along with Travis Nesbitt, the redshirt senior. Those who did do tackles, we have 1, 2. Actually, technically it's 1, 2. Highly technical. I'm doing this during the middle of the video. 4 guys. I forgot to mention one other guy did not record, didn't make minimal. Zeke Campbell, the redshirt junior transfer from Louisiana Tech. So 4 guys in here. 1 is from FCS. Actually, 2 from FCS, 2 FBS. The 2 FCS guys, Amari Notice, the redshirt senior transfer from Idaho, 24 tackles and a sack. Then Javen Augustus, the junior transfer from Highland Community College, 45 tackles and 8.5 sacks. We'll see how well that's going to translate. Those who did something at the FBS level, we're talking Noah Arinze, the senior transfer from New Mexico State, 15 tackles, 2.5 sacks. And the only holder from last year's squad, Sawyer Gordon Welch, he's a super senior, 6th-year senior, 32 tackles. He didn't do anything else. Linebacker room is kind of an interesting story. You've got 13 guys, 7 did minimal, 6 qualified. But it's not the best room on the defense. I mean, it's going to be transfer city again. It's going to be transfers to determine this one, though. So, we had 7 guys this week. I mean, 1 guy recorded stats but did not make the minimum. That's Savon McDowell, the sophomore, is a true freshman last season. Those guys who held over and did something, we're talking about 2 transfer. You know, 1 FCS here. Make sure 1 or 2. 2 FCS here. Worst of worst on them, and one of these guys is an absolute nightmare. Walt Gray, the junior transfer from Iowa Western Community College, 40 tackles and 9.5 sacks at linebacker. So he's bad. And the other guy, the tackling machine, is Dante Lunan, the grad transfer from Albany. 131 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 picks. Dude was a tackling machine. Now, for the FBS level, our 4 guys here, again, worst to first, we got the first and third tacklers from last year's squad back, as well as one hell of a transfer. All right, again, we're going worst to first, lowest to most tackles. All right, first in here, we're talking about the guy who was just outside of it, technically was tied for third with 36 tackles. We're talking about Trey Brown, the redshirt junior, 36 tackles, 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pass deflection. You got Wyatt Gideon, the junior, 36 tackles, 1 sack, a forced fumble, a pick, and a pass deflection. He's doing everything. Second would be the number 1 tackler holder from last year's squad in the linebacker core, Shane Bruce, the super senior, 75 tackles, 1 interception, and a pass deflection. But number 1 in tackles coming into the team from last year's stats would be Luke Murphy, the grad transfer from Eastern Michigan, 94 tackles and a pick. We got some tacklers in this linebacker room, I'm telling you. Now, the secondary, if you hadn't figured it out, best room on the defense. And it's going to be an interesting thing. I don't know who's starting in the secondary, but this is going to be an interesting stat here. 23 guys, a lot of them. 15 did something, 7 qualified. So we had 8 guys who didn't meet the minimum tackles here. We're talking about Jamarian Wayne, the senior transfer from Missouri. Lionel Whitaker, the senior transfer from Maryland. Miles Muyong, the redshirt senior transfer from Miami. Noah Gibson, the redshirt junior transfer from Shaw University. That's what we got here. We've got Jeffrey Ojukwu. I get the name wrong. I apologize. The senior transfer from Vanderbilt. As well as we have Chris Henry Jr., the redshirt freshman. Named Chris Henry, ring a bell? Remember the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Chris Henry, who unfortunately passed away? This is his son. He's a transfer from West Virginia. You also got 2 more holders from last year's squad, Xavier McIntyre and Chase Jackson, both sophomores. So they did something as true freshmen last year. Now for the 7 guys who did something, quite a few. In fact, who did something, we got 1, 2, 3 from FCS. So we're going to get into those first, and the 4 from the FBS level. The FCS one's worst to first in tackles, obviously. So we're going Laurel Howling, the junior transfer from Trinity Valley Community College, 22 tackles, 3 picks, and 5 pass deflections. You got Fred Adams, the junior transfer from Northwest Mississippi Community College. I told you they were coming back. 35 tackles, 8 picks, 13 pass deflections. Dude was a ball hawk, going after it. But not the leader in tackles for the FCS transfers players coming in. Jacob Robinson, the senior transfer from Emory and Henry. 71 tackles, half a sack, 6 picks, 4 pass deflections. You got some playmakers here. And as for the ones at FBS level, the 4 guys who did something at FBS, there's 1, 2, 3. Where's my 4th? There you are. All 4 of them, FBS level, are holdovers from last year's squad. Let's get into it. So worst to first, Zach Cody, the sophomore, is a true freshman last year at 15 tackles. You got Miles Wood, the sophomore, next, as a true freshman last year, 16 tackles, a forced fumble, and a pass deflection. Avion Jones, the redshirt junior, 17 tackles and a pass deflection. And FBS-wise, the biggest holdover is Examarian Gordon, the redshirt senior, 36 tackles, a pick, which was a pick 6, and 2 pass deflections. So the secondary looks pretty decent here. All right, we've done enough talking. Time to actually get down to some predictions, isn't we? All right. Coastal Carolina starts the season on the road at Virginia. This is the season opener for both schools. The only meeting these two ever had was actually last year, and Virginia won 43-34 in Conway, South Carolina. So Virginia's looking to go 2-0 all time, and you know what? I'm taking Virginia's going to get that win. They're going to go 2-0. Then you're at home opener against Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern actually plays at Vanderbilt. They're at Vandy the week before, so it's a tough game. Go at Vandy, then at Coastal Carolina. Last meeting was in 2016. Coastal Carolina won 59-58 in overtime in Conway. Based on that, it'd be a tough one, but I'm going to give you, you're at home, I'm going to give you the win over Charleston Southern. Now, next game up is East Carolina. I already covered this game and previewed this game and predicted it in the East Carolina preview and prediction video. East Carolina wins that game. Coastal Carolina gets the L. Then they're on the road at South Alabama. South Alabama plays at Auburn the week before, so you're against East Carolina at home. They're at Auburn, so they're beat up a little bit. But you're on the road. Last meeting was in 2021. Coastal Carolina won 27-21 on the road in Mobile. You're back in Mobile. I call this game a coin flip game. Who's got home field? South Alabama does. So I'm giving South Alabama the win. Then you get a bye. Out of the bye, you're on the road at Old Dominion. Old Dominion plays Liberty at home the week before, so you have a bye week. So you have 2 weeks to prepare even though you're on the road. Last meeting was last year. Coastal Carolina won 45-37 in Conway. A tough matchup, but you got 2 weeks to prepare. I got you beating Old Dominion. Then you're at home against ULM, the worst team in the Sun Belt, unfortunately, I think. I just feel so sorry for the athletic department. ULM plays at Northwestern the week before. Not any favors. Last meeting was in 2022. Coastal won 20-21 on the road in Monroe, Louisiana. Easy for me to say. And I think Coastal's going to beat ULM. I think they'll get that win there, so they're going to get that win. Then they go on the road at Appy State, Appalachian State. Appalachian State plays at Georgia State the week before. Last meeting was last year, and Coastal won 38-24 in Conway. Coastal's looking to win their 4th straight versus Appalachian State. No, you're not. App State's winning that game. Then you get your second bye, and you start on your bye on a Thursday night against Marshall out of the bye. I already covered this game in the preview prediction video for Marshall earlier on. You want to find out about that game, you have to watch that video. You beat Marshall. Then you come out of the bye, you still out of the game against Marshall, you stay at home, you're against Georgia State. Georgia State has a bye the week before. Now, they got 2 weeks prepared for you while you play Marshall. Last meeting was last year, and Coastal Carolina won 48-27 on the road in Atlanta. You have some problems here, but you're more firepower than Georgia State. You're going to beat Georgia State. And then these last 3 games. Nobody did y'all have any favors in these last 3. Because right now, you are 5-4 as it stands right now. You need one more win to be bowl eligible. So you come out of the when you get one more win, you're on the road at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern plays at Appalachian State the week before. That's going to be a tough matchup. Last meeting was last year, and Georgia Southern won 26-6 in Conway. Now you gotta now you gotta head down south, head down to Georgia. Yeah, Georgia Southern's gonna beat you. Then you go stay on the road to Columbia at South Carolina. South Carolina plays at Texas A&M the week before. It's going to be a little bit beat up. Last meeting was actually in 2018. South Carolina won 49-15 in Columbia. South Carolina looking to go 3-0 all-time versus Coastal. And yes, they will go 3-0 all-time versus Coastal. South Carolina wins, which means now you are 5-6. You need to win this game. Who is your man? Who is your chance to be bowl eligible? You're home hosting James Madison. James Madison, JMU, plays Washington State at home the week before. Last meeting was last year when James Madison won 39-7 in Harrisonburg. And that was not good for James Madison team last year. JMU is actually looking to win their 5th straight versus Coastal. And they will. I got James Madison beating Coastal, which means Coastal's final record on the season is going to be 5-7, but you're 4-4 in the Sun Belt. So conference-wise, you didn't do that bad, but you had Virginia, Charleston Southern, East Carolina, and South Carolina. So basically, you stayed regional with your non-conference games. But you did make a bowl game this season. Well, I know I'm going to be hearing about it from some South Carolina fans. Why don't you let me know what you think down in the comments. So thanks, everybody, for watching. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I'm going to go through it again without all the extras. I'm going to read off the games. You tell me, what do you think Coastal Carolina's record's going to be down in the comments. So they start the season on the road at Virginia, home against Charleston Southern, stay home against East Carolina, on the road at South Alabama, then they get a bye week, out of the bye on the road at Old Dominion, then back home against Louisiana Monroe, on the road again against Appalachian State, then they get their second bye week. They're home Thursday night against Marshall, stay home, regular Saturday game against Georgia State. By the way, the games I say here, if I say a different day, all games are Saturday. All days are Saturday here. Unless ever Marshall, which is Thursday. Georgia State at home. Then they go back-to-back road games at Georgia Southern, at South Carolina, and finish the season at home against James Madison. You let me know what you think the record's going to be down in the comments. Share the video if you want to, and if you haven't done it already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 2K, trying to make some magic happen. If you want to follow me on X, the link is in the description. 2 preview videos left. Lincoln University of Missouri and Montana. Those are the 2 left. Those are the last 2. So if scheduling permits, it's going to be a doubleheader. If not, we're going to have 3 videos on Wednesday. I really don't want to have 3 videos on Wednesday. But it is what it is. So then again, I might move the subscriber rankings up to tomorrow because the subscriber rankings are only FBS schools, and Coastal is the last FBS school to get done. So the last 2 videos don't involve FCS schools. The rankings do not involve FCS schools or Division II, so they're not a part of it. So technically, I could do that. Let me know what you want me to do down in the comments. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great evening. Be safe, and please be good to each other.